Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we have ourselves a track called Sing That Song from an act named James Burt. And if we switch over to here, we have the track on SoundCloud. The single out here, James Burt, Sing That Song. Very classy, very classy. And we're going to listen through this track from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. Oh, damn, dude. That is, that's loud. I'm gonna give it a moment. That's well mastered. That is really well mastered. I have got a lot of love for how they approached that, like for real. For various reasons. One, instantly you have the main musical motif of the song, a nice cool chord progression for them with the bass line that isn't too generic or sort of, predictable. It's kind of neutral enough for him to sing about whatever he wanted to over it, which I think is a smart move as well. We don't want to instantiate too much of a niche for ourselves at first. And it's nice and contemporary sounding. The production's polished. He's a great singer actually, James Burt.
Strong. I smile like nothing's wrong.
Before we get into the hook, which is choreographed or like telegraphed really well by that fill going into it, those 80s sounding tom fills. Great. I'm liking how we had the single vocal line at the start. We repeated those melodies and those sequences there, and the rhythmic phrasing was consistent. Then we had some different harmonies in the second half. And we had a little whooshy thing going on with it, a bit of space before this next part. It's really well arranged.
Every time that I close my eyes, I think of you as you walk on by. I love the sound of the way you sing that song.
Okay, so this is a love song. It is a love song. I suppose it's also appreciation for this other person, appreciating the way that they do their thing, how they sing that song. Mutual respect, I suppose, and among the adoration. What else do I like about this? Yeah, we'll continue. Nice padding there.
We can work this whole thing out if we try.
Just before we continue, and I'll go back a little bit so we can hear it in context, but I really appreciate that we didn't let that hook run longer than it needed to. We had it come in and out, and then we're back into the verse and developing the story. That's really smart songwriting, eh? It cuts to the chase, man.
We can work this whole thing out if we try. I can't go on.
Oh.
And smile like nothing's wrong.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
Take us to the end of the line. Through our memories and the stars in the sky, we must stay strong. The love was never gone.
The shame for me for Spotify listening to James Burt through it is that it's just the album art. I mean, the single art, the is beautiful. We've got the art of the man down here. It's so naked otherwise. There's almost too much blank space here. Just in regards to SoundCloud as a platform, it would be cooler if they allowed the artists to customize this area to sort of color coordinate it more towards their own vibe, their own brand. It's a shame because obviously James Burt has put such a tremendous amount of effort into the way that he's done the design for his art and everything like that, and the color coordination and the color grading, right? And in addition, with the quality of the performance we're having here, it's oh damn, back in that hook, cool.
I think of you as you walk on by. I love the sound of the way you sing that song.
Lovely warm harmonies there on that tail end, just to keep things sounding fresh.
The sun sets on the velvet sky. I feel alone when you're on my mind. I love the sound of the way you sing that song.
Oh. Yeah, okay. All right.
Every time that I close my
All right. I gotta admit that was a really well phrased and well spoken guitar solo there. It does kind of sound like it was mirroring some of the vocal melodies we had in the earlier verses. It was a classy, unexpected thing to have in the mix, and I'm really thankful for it. You know, well done to James Burt for that. I wasn't quite sure what we were going for at the end part there, but I still think it sounded cool, don't get me wrong. I don't know what. Usually, you have people go something like that, right? But I don't think we needed that here. James Burt had a bit of ornamentation at the end. Didn't want to go to, I guess, flourish it too much in case it went sort of higher than where the vocals were supposed to be. You know what I mean? You want to have that smooth transition back into the hook.
I think of you as you walk on by. I love the sound of the way you sing the song.
It's interesting because he had points where he's saying that he can't go on without that song and he loves the sound of it so much and he just wants to make it work so that they can sing together. Oh, good job having the recall and response there.
Velvet sky. I feel alone when you're on my mind. I love the sound of the way you sing the song.
I'm happy, man. I'm in a really good mood. Hey!
All of the joy you bring. I love the sound of the way you sing that song. I listen the way you sing that song.
Yeah, that was damn near perfect. No BS. Being totally genuine. I like that track quite a lot. There's a lot to appreciate because this is the conclusion. James Burt has himself a classic here, providing the marketing and everything like that is done well. I think this is a track that stands really well in this day and age. There are obviously pop elements of it, but I think just having things like that guitar solo alone, that unexpected addition, just to keep things sounding fresh, the careful and restrained use of those vocal harmonies, allowing space in the song for the music just to sit and for you to be able to enjoy the themes and the different chord progressions and beats present. There is such intelligence shown here in regards to the way we structured everything and put it all together. There is such meticulous sort of professional standard that's been shown here by James Burt that I honestly feel that he's got a chance, man. Genuinely, I think if he continues to put out music like this, he'll get somewhere in the industry. It sounds like he's been released radio singles before, like stuff at the level where I think there's a wide audience for it. I think a lot of people will be able to get behind this, to sing that song to keep things going, the togetherness and everything. A lot of people will be able to relate to that. The themes of the song are relatable, poignant, more meaningful this time than ever, especially because a lot of people are singing their own song, and it can be nice to appreciate other people's, and to be told that it's okay to appreciate other people's songs, if you know what I mean. The structure was that verse, chorus, sort of interlude, solo, outro, chorus thing, with the guitar coming in occasionally with that outro chorus, which I thought was really classy. And you had the vocals just cutting it out, but you just had that lovely instrumental intro. There, again, James didn't feel the need to come in too early to kind of hog the spotlight. He was secure enough to let the instruments do their thing before he came in and set the precedent there, And as a singer, he sounded sensational. He was nice and clear in the mix. There wasn't a lot of vocal ornamentation, but I don't think there needed to be a lot of different fancy techniques shown. He sang what needed to be sung. He sang in a way that made sense with the story. He emoted really well. He was comfortable within his vocal range. And the harmonies worked flawlessly every single time. The musical theme that we had was a 4-chord sort of structure for the most part. I think there might have been some changes in each of the two halves of the hook. The verse was fairly consistent, but there was a core musical idea and concept that was malleable to what James Burt needed from it. It allowed him to go effortlessly from vocals to sort of guitar solos and everything like that, and I've got no complaints about that. The instrumentation, the performances were stellar. Everything played the way it needed to. The drums were engaging. They kept the groove when they weren't doing those occasional fills. It just made them sparkle a bit. The guitar lines run, again, for the final time, they were unexpected and well welcomed. It's not just because I love guitar. It's because he did it justice. You know, he didn't need to do a shred solo or anything like that. Like a lot of the music that sounds like it's from the 80s, you know. It was classy as heck, man. Just like the way the lyrics and the story was told and the way he sang. There was bass and synth and electric keys and other elements there that I really enjoyed, and the overall harmony was stunning to listen to. The production, recording, mixing, and mastering was top notch, and I've got no complaints on it whatsoever. Again, like, I know I commented on the end of the guitar solo and transition back into the chorus. I don't really know what he could have done there to make that not be cheesy. I think, in fact, a lot of what was in this song could have been cheesy if James Burt had not been as knowledgeable and self-aware as he is. And I think he was able to tone it down and make it a little bit more sort of centered, give it a sense of equilibrium it might not have had otherwise by through the story he told, the maturity and the consideration put there, as well as the tonal textures to that main chord idea with the harmonies present and the interweaving melodies. And yeah, it was just at 3 minutes 40. It was in a sweet spot between a 2 and 4 minute single. He's really got a shot at it. As I understand it, this track is coming out on April the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. So by the time this review out, it's already going to be out on major digital stream platforms. So do yourself a favor and go show James Burt some love and support, and go keep an eye out for his other music if you're interested, okay? But effectively though, this is my review of James Burt's Sing That Song. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show James Burt some love via his various social medias and SoundCloud page. Stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next review. Spiderhands Out.